Okay, guys, we are finally here. UFC 285, March 4th, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. You know the routine. You know what time everything starts. Prelims, early prelims, and main card. But Mikey, John freaking Jones is back this weekend, dude. Are you hype or what?
Oh yeah, man. You know, he might be some people's GOAT. I don't know if he's my GOAT, but he's top three for sure. He's got to be top three, like unquestionably to most people. But this is a card that the casual fan's gonna tune in. Everybody's gonna be tuning in. We've had a couple cards that are gonna test our fandom the last couple weeks, but now it's time to reap the rewards and see some major, major fights.
Hell yeah, dude. I can't wait. I mean, my dad's birthday is the 5th. So me and him have been planning our evening together on the 4th for like 4 or 5 months now. We're so excited. And I can't wait on a personal level. We're going to get into those bets in a minute. Real quick, everybody, this is Mikey. He's been on before. Mikey, you've done something awesome since the last time we met. You kind of started to legitimize yourself in this, whatever you want to call it, sports media, sports journalism world. You now have a media network where you call it the Die Hard Sports Network. It's on Twitter. I'm going to have that linked below for people to go follow you. But tell me a little bit about that real quick.
Yeah, it's pretty new. I started it just over a week ago. I'm still a little unclear on the exact direction I want to go with it, but I've been writing UFC articles for now. Gonna get some like NFL content, off-season content, some betting content. Just trying to gain followers and supporters right now. And like you said, you're gonna link it below, so I appreciate that. Just anybody watching, if you could just check it out, give me a follow on Twitter and check out the website when you can.
Mikey's the man, so the content's going to be good. I can promise you that, folks. So yeah, check them out. And then plugging myself and my show on BetQL Network, Tapped Out. We got a big show coming up this Saturday. Marcel Dorff, everybody knows Big Marcel. He's going to be on talking 285 fights. And then Bo Nickel himself joins Brendan Tobin and Sean Levine on Tapped Out. So make sure you tune in Saturday, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time, BetQL Network, Twitch, Odyssey app, YouTube, whatever radio station you got. I don't know what the number is, but we're on there, so check us out. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, without further ado, UFC 285 best bets. Mikey, card of the year. So it's a young year, only March, but man, John Jones is back. I can't wait. He's certainly one of the bets we're going to talk about, but we're going to start at the bottom and work our way up. We're going to start with my parlay. I call it the African parlay, the South African parlay. Dricus Du Plessis, Cameron Simon, pair them together, -116. Are you kidding me? You like that?
I do like it. One thing I'll ask you to sell me on a little bit is Simon. I do like him in the fight. I'm just not a fan of his odds. Mana Martinez, he hasn't looked great in the UFC, but I'm still watching his regional tape and he was just knocking guys out. Like he looked so good. And I'm still a little worried that that might show up eventually because I've been fading him in the UFC, but I'm still a little bit worried. And with these odds, I'm a little worried, but I do like Simon to get it done. I'm just not sure how he gets it done, but I do like him.
So I actually think Mana Martinez has looked good in the UFC. It hasn't really boded his way so far as far as the record goes, but I think he's looked good, and I think his striking has certainly been on display in certain fights. I thought you were going to be a little bit more nervous about Brunson. That's where people are like, Brunson's going to beat Du Plessis. No, he's not. So interesting that you're more nervous about Simon. So I'll sell you on Cameron Simon a little bit, okay? I have a little bit of bias. I'm buds with the guy. We've talked 2 or 3 times, and great kid. But he's also so freaking talented, man. That entire Team CIT gym out of South Africa, full of young killers. They're all like under 28 years old, just bloodthirsty, ripping up the South African MMA scene, and they're coming for the UFC. They're all coming for UFC, Bellator, PFL, one, you name it. And Simon and Du Plessis are like the leaders of that gym, right? Everybody looks up to those 2 guys. Simon's been doing MMA since he was a boy, a young guy, young kid. He's only, 22 years old. So much upside for this kid. But, dude, his last fight, it was a little bit, I don't know, sloppy. He was a big favorite. Took him a while to get it done. It's because he was hunting for a submission. He told me in the interview before that, he's like, this guy I'm fighting is a submission artist. I need to go out there and get a submission. And then if you watch the fight back, man, the whole fight, Cameron Simon's doing kind of stupid stuff, just going for the sub, and he won the fight by decision. He's not going to do it this time around. He has incredible wrestling, better wrestling than Martinez, 100%. Martinez does have success on the feet, Cameron Simon, when he puts his striking on display, when he was on Contender Series, knocking out for the first time ever in his career, Josh Wong Kim, super crisp boxing, incredible leg kicks, and he's 22 years old. I think the strength and the crisp, precise striking is going to be too much for Martinez to handle. I don't know if it goes to decision. That's kind of what I'm thinking, but man, minus 300 might be a little steep, but he wins the fight. And that's why I'm pairing it with Duplessis to get that minus 116 odds. So I don't know if that's sold you or not.
No, I do agree. I would attack it with the parlay standpoint too, because again, I don't know if decision, finish, just the odds is what really struck me a little bit. Based off his last fight, him being a little young, I was like, maybe he doesn't deserve to be this big of a favorite just quite yet. But as a parlay, I can see it. And Duplessis, I don't really see a path for Brunson. Once they start talking about retiring, it's not looking good. And Duplessis has shown that even when he's tired, he can fight and show whatever he needs to show. And Brunson is pretty much the opposite. Once he gets tired, it's like,
yeah,
that's it. Reel it in, it's done.
And Brunson's chin's been a little questionable too in recent years. And Duplessis, Brunson has success when he wrestles, right? When he wrestles, particularly young prospects. That's where he's seen success in recent years. And Duplessis just ain't that guy, man. He can wrestle. He is super strong, great jiu-jitsu, just like Cameron Simon. I mean, that whole gym is incredible. And it's going to be on full display, I think. So, man, minus 116, Cameron Simon, Dricus Duplessis. I'm all over it. And one more comment, just because I forgot to say this real quick off of your point about Cameron Simon being minus 300. You're 100% right. Your second fight in the UFC, going up against someone who, as I don't know, experienced as Mana Martinez, probably shouldn't be a minus 300. But I think this fight is going to be the fight that afterwards we're all like, okay, Cameron Simon's going to be a minus 500 favorite till he gets into that top 10. I truly think this kid's that good.
I hope to see it. I'm going to like it because I like his style.
And do you ever watch Sadiq Yusuf's fight breakdown videos?
No, I always see them on my timeline, but I haven't gotten the chance to watch them yet.
You absolutely have to.
Like, I'll check one out. Did he do one for 285?
He did it for 285, and it is absolutely hilarious. Like, he was just like he go, because Sadiq's Nigerian, and he's going through these fights, and then he goes to Cameron Simon. He's like, "Oh, Cameron Simon, the face of Africa. He's just like me." You have to watch it, man.
I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it after this.
My favorite videos. Anyways, moving on. We got the parlay down. My first single, and this one pains me. This isn't one I want to talk about, but from a betting perspective, you have to hit this line. Trevin Jones plus 145 going up against fan favorite Cody Garbrandt minus 175. Cody Garbrandt has no business being a favorite in the UFC anymore. I'm very sorry to say that. I understand Trevin Jones hasn't been the most successful in the UFC, but Cody's lost 5 out of his last 6 fights.
Yeah.
The chin's just, it's sad to say, but it's over. I think it's over. And Trevin Jones, like I said, not the most talented fighter, but he's fought very experienced people, gone the distance against experienced people. And we've seen him have knockout power against great talent in Mario Bautista. So plus 145 dog odds on Jones. I can't ignore it. I can't ignore it.
All right. I'm going to throw out a disclaimer here before I start. Cody Garbrandt is one of my favorite fighters of all time.
Yep.
It is going to be a little bias in here. Okay. And I'm praying and hoping for a win. But I do see the side. I'm probably going to bet Cody Garbrandt, honestly, this Saturday. But again, you can't ignore the chin issues, the durability issues, the fight IQ issues that he has. I'm just hoping that this is an angle I usually like to attack when a higher level fighter loses a bunch straight to the elite of the elite. I mean, it's been 2 different divisions now, but he's still losing to mostly elite fighters.
Sure.
And then takes a big step down. So I guess the odds, in my opinion, are somewhat accurate just because of the step down. Trevin Jones is a guy who doesn't really like to throw much. And the way to beat Cody is to just knock him out, as we all know. But again, this could go one of 2 ways. Like, I could see it going like when Augusto Sakai, for example, last Saturday just took a big step down and kind of outclassed the guy.
Shocked me.
Yeah. Or it could be like Dominic Reyes, though, where it's just like you're done and you go and you keep going and you're just going to keep getting knocked out. And if Cody gets knocked out, I mean, I don't see him being in the UFC anymore. So I'm hoping with his move to Extreme Couture and he fights a little bit smarter and just hopefully he knows that his job is on the line here. Maybe mix in a little bit of wrestling and just fight smarter and hopefully he could pull out a win because he should have Trevin Jones outmatched skill for skill everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just that durability you got to worry about always.
100%. Cody is the better fighter anywhere this fight goes. The experience, better striking, better grappling. It's just, as I said, that it's that chin and losing 5 out of the last 6. You know, it pains me. It truly pains me. But I hope you're right, man. I hope you're right because I would love to see Cody back.
Too, man.
It would be
I'm
great.
gonna
night.
cry if he loses again.
I'm not gonna be happy but hey, that's why we got that heart insurance, bro. That's why we're gonna bet against him a little bit. So if he loses, we're a little bit less sad, you know?
Yeah.
And you brought up Augusto Sakai from last week. I just realized I forgot to even recap UFC Vegas 70. Not really worth mentioning much. Just real quick. Brendan Allen shocked the hell out of me. Lost money there. Incredible performance. Same with Augusto Sakai. Congratulations, buddy. Back in the dub column. And Tatiana Suarez. We're back, baby.
Oh, yes. I had her inside the distance. That was my probably best play of the night.
Beautiful play. And Montana De La Rosa is a freaking dog, man. That was a great fight, but Suarez back like she never left. That's really all that's worth mentioning from last week because 285 is way better. So next pick. This one, another underdog, and don't understand. I guess I do understand the odds, but I don't agree with the odds. Jalen Turner plus 175, Mateusz Gamrot minus 225. I'm going with the dog, Turner. Turner's on a 5-fight win streak against good talent. We've seen him strike and beat people in the striking department that he probably shouldn't have on paper. Brad Riddell was beating him up, and Brad Riddell is a Tiger Muay Thai veteran. Mm-hmm. Then he also has 3 submissions in the UFC as well. He's so long. He's so fast. He knows how to use his length and his reach, and he's so young. Gamrot, on the other hand, although very experienced, sloppy. He is very one-dimensional, good at what he does, a complete wrestler who goes for the legs, Ben Askren style, up against the cage, clinch style, drags you to the mat and holds you there with some ground and pound. Very good at it. But I don't think he has that experience advantage over Turner that these odds are saying he does. I love Jalen Turner in this spot. I saw somewhere Jalen Turner by submissions like plus 900 or something. Let me check that real quick because that sounds absurd. Jalen Turner by submission plus 900. Oh my goodness. I don't like to give out prop odds, but ladies and gentlemen, if that Jalen Turner plus 175 isn't enticing enough, plus 900 submission, I like that.
I'm right with you, man. I love Jalen Turner this weekend. And it seems like mostly everybody I've watched or seen make picks or anything like that is all over Gamrot. They think it's kind of like he's going to just wrestle him for 15 minutes. And I mean, I guess I can see it, but at these odds, I feel like we've seen Gamrot lately. His chin is kind of going down a little bit. He took that huge shot from Beneil Dariush that, I mean, sheesh, Jalen Turner might have just hopped on him and finished him right then and there. And I mean, Gamrot, I think, will be able to land some takedowns, but he isn't the best at holding people down. And Turner, I think, can work his way up, way up at least a couple times and beat him up on the feet.
Turner is absolutely just huge. I mean, so big for the lightweight division. He's going to outsize Gamrot on the weigh-ins. You'll see. And I expect, you say what?
It's going to be bad. A big difference.
There's an element to grappling. I'm a wrestler. I grew up wrestling. I do jiu-jitsu now. There's an element to grappling. It is not necessarily always harder to beat someone bigger than you, but it is 100% harder to hold someone down that is bigger than you. Especially like the length Turner has. It just, I don't know. I really see Jalen Turner winning this fight. I'm like very confident it goes down that way. Donnie just texted me, by the way. Shout out, I fucks with MMA. Donnie Rocket, the boy. But man, Jalen Turner. There's another point I was going to bring up, and I can't remember what it was. So while I'm thinking about that, do you have anything else to say about this fight?
Yeah, I honestly, like, even the sub is a nice look because I could see him getting a guillotine possibly when Gamrot shoots in or something like that, or using submissions to just sweep to get back off his feet. But I could see this potentially being a really close fight of the night, split decision kind of fight where it's like, what are the judges favoring that night? Are they favoring some of his control from Gamera? Are they favoring the harder shots from Turner? And when you have like a split decision close fight like that, you definitely want the plus, what is he, 170, 175?
Plus 175.
Underdog. Yeah, that's going to be a nice line. And I think even if it loses, like that's going to be some good value because
Yeah.
I find it hard to believe that Turner just gets ran through or held down for 15 straight minutes.
Regardless of how this fight goes, this is not a bet I'm going to regret, I don't think. And I remember the point I was going to bring up. This is a short notice fight for Mateusz Gamrot.
Yep.
And he's a minus 225 favorite.
Yeah. What would he be if it was a full camp? I mean, minus 350, 400?
For what? I don't know. I don't really get it. So I'm going with the underdog here in Jalen Turner.
I like it.
It just the way he's looked recently, man. He's been so good. So good. And MMA is a game of levels and it's a game of growth. And 27 years old. He's only 27 years old. Nutty.
For that man.
Anyways, main event time, buddy. Jon Jones steps back in against Cyril Gane, and I'm BetMGM right now, who sponsors this podcast. Minus 165, you can get Jon Jones at plus 140, Cyril Gane. Before I say much about this fight, I saw a troubling tweet today. Do you know which tweet I'm referring to?
Is it the picture of him?
I'm talking about the picture of Cyril.
Okay.
Did you see Cyril Gane's hand?
No.
There's a picture going around on Twitter. I'll send it to you after this. Cyril Gane. Actually, I might even see if I can pull it up right now. Apparently, Cyril Gane has a nasty, nasty swollen hand. To the point where people are saying that looks broken. And I've seen broken hands before. I've broke part of my hand before. It might be hard to see on the Zoom camera, but can you see how swollen that is?
Yeah. His right hand, yeah.
The lack of knuckles.
Yeah.
So, and people are like, well, that's an old picture. That's an old picture. The background right there is UFC 285. Like that's from this weekend. And MMA Orbit, who's a huge account, just tweeted about it 8 minutes ago. So I just put money on Jon Jones minus 160.
Yeah, it might be kind of up on Jones right now.
I'm just following this a little bit, and I'm a little bit interested to see where it goes, because if that's true and that comes out, one, Cyril Gane will puff to a plus 400 underdog, or two, Sergey Pavlovich was flown into Las Vegas for a reason.
Yeah. Ooh.
Like, how do you feel about that one if that happens? Jon Jones versus Sergey Pavlovich.
Dang, I feel like I would have liked the under in that one. Just because I feel like Sergey's going to go and try to attack Jones right away. I don't think he's going to play around.
No.
Where Cyril might want to get into a longer kickboxing match, but Sergey might just rush Jones, and I think Jones would be able to deal with that and still beat him. Just kind of like matador him a little bit and wrestle him, but damn, I really do hope we get to see Gane versus Jones.
I hope the hand is nothing, because that's the fight. Jon Jones versus Cyril Gane is essentially Jon Jones versus Jon Jones.
Yeah.
Cyril Gane and Jon Jones have, and Cyril said it himself before, he said he modeled his striking after Jon Jones, and you can see that in fights. They have extremely similar striking. What worries me in this fight a little bit is Cyril Gane's younger and more of like the prime striker that Jon Jones used to be. You know what I mean? I think if Cyril Gane comes in there healthy and fights his fight like he did against Derek Lewis specifically, even tied to Ivasa, where he hung back, waited for his shots, and then when he felt the power, went for the kill, I think that's a lot of trouble for Jon Jones. But if Cyril Gane lets Jon Jones fight his fight, which I think is what's likely to happen, he's the GOAT, then it's over for Cyril Gane. But the hand thing, man, the hand thing scaring me right now.
Yeah, sheesh. I might have to go put some money on Jones right now, but then again, worry about if it gets canceled or not, or changed to Pavlovich. But as of now in this matchup, I do agree with you. I like Jones. I mean, betting on Jones, especially, this isn't a huge price tag for him compared to what we would usually see.
Yeah.
And I mean, he is coming off of like a 3-year layoff.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to worry about that a little bit. And how he has looked in his last couple fights. Like Dominic Reyes, some people think Dominic Reyes won. I think John Jones won, but either
Me
way, it
too.
was really close. It was a close fight, and in fights like that, it's hard to trust. But I mean, we haven't seen Jones, my bad, lose cleanly ever, really. I mean, the Mark
No.
Hamill fight, disqualification, like that's not a real loss.
Stupid.
Jones we've never seen this man lose, so it's never a bad bet to bet on John Jones.
And I mean, there's the obvious point everybody's been talking about for weeks where, and this is MMA math. I don't like to do MMA math, but, Cyril Gane got out wrestled by Francis Ngannou. And John Jones is much more credentialed in wrestling than Francis Ngannou. So
Yeah.
I think if you look at it without even bringing Ngannou into it, John Jones still has that grappling advantage over Cyril Gane. But this is still John Jones' first time at a heavyweight. And the heavyweights we've seen John Jones training with are nowhere near as good as Cyril Gane. Just ask Dontel Mays, who fought last weekend.
No, I get it. I'm hoping to see just Jones mix in his all-around game. Maybe, like if you said, if Gane gives him his fight and it's strike for strike, Jones can land a takedown here and there to seal off some rounds and just make it look a little cleaner.
Regardless, John Jones is back, and
Yeah.
that's enough for me right there. That makes my year as an MMA fan right now.
Yeah.
Mikey, before we get out of here, any bets that I did not bring up that you like specifically?
Yeah, I have a couple of like more so props because again with this is a parlay heavy card. I mean, I like
Yes.
parlay, some people don't, but there's a lot of big favorites, so people are going to be looking to parlay them together. Not really much value in betting a lot of these guys straight up. But one prop that I did like was, and I like her as a parlay piece too, is Tabitha Ricci. I think her wrestling, I think she's someone that can just hold Penne down for 15 minutes and stay safe. But I do like the prop of her by decision. You could get it around minus 120 right now or so, depending on where you look. But
Minus
I think that's a
150
pretty
on
safe bet.
BetMGM, but sorry.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty safe bet though, because Penne's tough. She doesn't get finished much, and Ricci has shown some really high level wrestling. So I think she can just might not be the most exciting fight, but I think she should be a pretty safe-ish bet for a parlay piece or to win by decision.
Ricci had
What do
a
you think
rough
about
start to the UFC. Who was her debut against Furo?
that? In a row, yeah.
That's just insane.
Yeah.
Because Ricci's won a 115 and Furo is, I mean, she's a 155, but she makes 125 somehow.
Yeah.
But no, Ricci's been really good lately, and she's proven me wrong like 2 or 3 fights in a row. So I don't knock you there at all, man. I'm all for that.
For sure. I mean, I counted her out after the Fierro fight because he seemed like maybe she's just a girl they're bringing in to just get beat up and then bye. But she's looked good. Her last couple of fights prove she belongs, and her wrestling is pretty good.
Huh. What else you got? What other bet?
And then just one more I have. It's in the first fight of the night, I believe. Rajabov versus Ribovich. I like the under 2.5. I saw it last I looked around 130-ish, 140-ish, I believe. You can go ahead and check and see what it is on BetMGM.
It is. Oh, do they have it yet? No, I don't know what it is. So what do you have? Oh, wait, you said under 1.5 or under 2.5?
Under 2.5.
I don't have it under 2.5. So what is it?
It was about minus 130, 140 or so. But I do like it because Ribovich is a very inexperienced guy who is a finisher. So he's looking for finishes. And then Loic Rajabov, who is the big favorite, and I do like to win this weekend, he is already someone with some cardio issues, and he's coming in on short notice too already. So I'm thinking this gets done pretty early. I like the under 2.5, probably more than Rajabov's straight up line because he's a kind of big favorite for someone coming in on short notice. But the under 2.5, I think, get the night started and with the finish.
That was some impressive research because that's the curtain jerker of the night. And I'm usually totally into every fight of the night, but I haven't done my research yet. I don't know who the hell either of those two guys are. So everybody, that's all Mikey. If that doesn't happen, you can't blame me for that. But hey, man, I do tend to degenerately bet a fight on these big cards, so I will keep that into account when I go to make my bets this weekend. Everybody go follow Mikey, go follow Die Hard Sports Network. Did I get it? Bam, nailed it. And more importantly, maybe most importantly, let's win some freaking money this weekend for John Jones' return at UFC 285. Mikey, my man, Thank you, and have a great day, dude.
Thank you too, man. Let's win some bets this weekend.
Hell yeah, dude, because last weekend I did not.
Andre Muniz, damn it.
John Jones, let's go.
Let's go, man.